Hello, this is Japanese craft beer reviews. Today we're going to take a little trip to Kyoto, Japan, to a brewery I really love, and that is Kyoto Brewing Company. If you've subscribed to the channel, you've probably seen a number of Kyoto beer reviews, and I'm going to do another one. I think they're probably the craft brewery I've had the most in Japan, and there's a reason why too. It was founded by 3 foreign residents of the city, and I know them, full disclosure here, and especially I knew the head brewer, the original head brewer, before he was a brewer, a professional brewer. I knew him when he was a home brewer in Kyoto, and he went to the US and studied brewing and did an internship in Lost Abbey, and also worked at Shiga Kogen in Nagano, Japan. So he became quite a good brewer. 2015 is when they started, and they came out of the gate, right away producing great stuff. They were voted the best new brewery in Japan for that year, 2015, on Rate Beer Best Selection, and then the best brewery in Japan in 2019. So they've been around. They're approaching their 10th anniversary, and they're going to have a nice event in Kyoto in May, I believe. And yeah, I remember when they first started out, and I remember their very first beer, and it was wonderful. So they have a tap room in Kyoto. They're located in the Minami district. You can get there from Kyoto Station quite easily if you're visiting Japan, and if you're a beer lover and happen to be in Kyoto, that is your #1 destination, Kyoto Brewing Company. So you can go to their tap room. Unfortunately, it's only open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the afternoons, and they close in the early evening, so you plan your visit accordingly. And they have, I think, 8 taps there, and so you can try a lot of their latest beers, and they have a full fridge full of their latest beers you can buy to take away. Apparently cannot drink in the house. So okay, so well, they did have a change, by the way. They had the brewer left, and they've hired a new brewer. His name is James Fox, and seems very, very accomplished. He worked for Stone in the U.S., and he hit the ground running when he came here too, and he's producing all kinds of things, including the beer we're going to look at today. And it is this one. This has an unusual name. This is Kyoto Brewing Itchuya Mexican White Milk Stout. And you might wonder what the white milk is about in the stout, and I'll explain in a second. The imagery does not look Japanese. In fact, it might even look maybe Mexican. All right, well, this is a beer produced by their new brewer, James Fox, and what he has tried to do here is to get the idea of horchata, which is, of course, a drink which is popular in Latin countries, originated, I think, in North Africa, but spread to Spain and Portugal and Italy, which is made with tiger nuts, a kind of sweetened and lightly spiced up milk drink. In Mexico, it's made with rice and vanilla and cinnamon, and so apparently when the brewer was working in Southern California, he of course experienced the horchata and maybe a taqueria or Mexican restaurant, and trying to recreate something like that. So this is something very, very new and unique, I think, among Japanese craft beers, for sure. Itchuya has the idea of all day into the night, but I don't think you want to drink this one all day and into the night, because as you can see here, it is 9% alcohol by volume. So it is considered a stout, or a flavored or pastry stout. And this is a style that has, of course, become popular in recent years. It's not my favorite style. Sometimes it can be quite overdone, too sweet, but when it's done well, it can be quite interesting. So apparently it was inspired by the Day of the Dead festival, which is, many cultures have something similar to that. Of course, in Mexico, people go have picnics in the cemeteries and that sort of thing. In Japan, we have Obon in the middle of summer, which is the time when the ghosts of the ancestors come back, and revisit people and that sort of thing. So it's kind of similar. But so this is supposed to be a horchata style stout, milk stout. And sometimes milk is added to horchata for sure. The ingredients include Maris Otter malt, a nice British malt, something called flex hops, and Abbey ale yeast, and then lager yeast as well. They also added rice flakes, which is the horchata ingredient for Mexico, and flaked oats, lactose, brown sugar, coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, and coconut. Wow. So pastry stouts often have a lot going for them and a lot in them, and this one certainly does here. Rate pair, there were only 2 ratings when I checked, and the average was 3.7. On Untappd, there were 24 ratings when I looked, and the average was a bit higher, 3.86. So they also have another Itchuya, which is a coffee stout at 6.5%. This one is 9% alcohol by volume and only 8 international bittering units. So I think we're going to get a lot of spice and sweetness and very little hop bitterness. It's cost 808 yen where I bought it, and I don't remember where I did buy it. I think maybe in a department store or liquor shop in Kyoto, perhaps. And 808 yen would be $5.17 US dollar terms, and euros, €4.96. Okay, looking forward to this one. This should be interesting and unusual. I always give extra points when people try something new. Even if it doesn't quite work, you give them credit for getting outside of the box, the beer box. Okay, so, all right, it is, I guess we could call it a white stout. It is very clear. It's got a nice kind of frothy head of foam. That could be my pour, but completely clear. Carbonation, what do we see? Oh, just a little stream of carbonation going up there. Actually 2 streams, okay. And a head of foam was about a finger, now it's dissipated quite quickly. Okay. Oh my. Okay, the first thing I notice is coffee. There's something that leads me to believe it's going to be quite sweet. Vanilla. Coconut, I'm not getting it yet. Cinnamon, no. So right away I get coffee, vanilla. Abbey ale yeast. Well, that should be interesting. Those are the 2 components I'm getting from this right now. It's very light coffee. Well, let's unpack this now. Coffee right away, quite sweet, a little bit syrupy. The vanilla kicks in. Cinnamon must be very light. I'm guessing the cinnamon is blending in with something else. Vanilla's there. I don't get coconut. But this could be the point, is the flavors are so well blended that you're not picking out each individual component. So I said I don't get cinnamon or coconut, but these could be blending in, in the overall whole. Very sweet. The coffee's mild, which is nice. Coffee beers can be overdone. You've probably had one that was scorched, if you steep it too long. This is just right, I think. I wonder whose coffee they used. They have made coffee beers before, and I can't remember the name. There's a roastery that they have worked with before. I can't remember the name, but this is tasty, interesting, quite warming, 9%. You feel it for sure. Horchata? Yeah. I suppose it would be quite a task, or quite an accomplishment to make an alcoholic horchata, at 9%. So it's quite different. If you don't know horchata, you can look it up online and see what it looks like. It's kind of whitish, made with tiger nuts in Spain, rice in Mexico, and milk added sometimes. This is interesting. A stout typology. I looking at it, you wouldn't say it's a stout, and tasting it, I would say it's a strong ale, flavored strong ale, but they have classified it as a stout or flavored pastry stout, and it's quite different from most of those that you will have. So it's tasty, interesting. If you have a chance to find this somewhere, give it a go, and let me know what you think. Yeah, it's on the beer, not beer continuum. It's getting close to the middle, I think, with all the extra spices and the blending of sweetness and spice in here. That's it. It is tasty. Good job, and I saludos. I give you some points for making this here. Interesting beer, and interesting artwork as well. It does kind of look like some Mexican tiles, or something, tile artwork. Yeah, very, very nice. Interesting. Again, called Itchuya, all day and into the night, and I may be sipping this slowly into the night. Hope you're doing well. Please let me know what if you've had this, please tell me what you think, and let me know what you think about all these new variant styles that are coming out. Beer is no longer just beer. It's multiplied, just as music, popular music has. I go back a ways, and when I was young, of course, popular music, there weren't that many genres, and now there are hundreds of genres and subgenres. It's quite something. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. Please do take care. Bye bye.